Greetings, this is this, and I am me, and I've got another puzzle here today, and I will say that with this one, at least with mine anyway, it is extremely easy to take apart. So I'm going to get to that in a second, but there's a couple things I want to mention about this before we take it apart. But also, I always am kind of wondering, maybe if you had one of these, but you had like a more expensive version, because I got this in like a pack with I think 4 other puzzles, like a whole bunch of mini little wooden puzzles. So I don't know if maybe it is kind of difficult to figure out how to take it apart if there's like a more snug fit in a more expensive version of it or something. But the one that I have I mean, if you hold it the wrong way, it will just fall apart. So, I'll show you guys that in a second. But first thing I want you to know is that every side, it's got like 6 sides like a cube, but, every side has 2 bigger pieces. I know it's kind of hard to see now, but this is going to help later, okay? It's got like two chunks that go out far, and then there's little baby ones on the side. So if I turn it this way, there's the same thing. There's these bigger ones, and then there's baby ones here. So just remember that there's like the little baby pieces on the edge, because sometimes when you take it apart, you're like, wait, what did it even look like before? So yeah, you might be like moving it around and you're like, oh, like, how do I get it apart? You know, everything's locked into place. Well, yeah, that direction, but whoa, see, this direction, it's not, okay? So basically, out of all of these, like I said, long pieces, this piece goes all the way through to here. This is one long piece. Test every one of those and to find the one that slides right out. It's this one. And it's pretty evident that it's the one that slides right out once you've taken it out, because you're like, oh, there's no notches in it. So of course it would fall out. And then the whole thing will just come apart. And I could take it apart carefully to show you guys each piece by piece, or I could just let it fall apart. And I think I'll just let it fall apart because that's what would happen probably if you did it. I think one of the puzzles, this might have been the one out of the whole pack that I bought, one of them was fallen apart, like, partially in the container. In the box that they all came in, one of them was already fallen apart. It might have been this one. Okay, so now to put it back together. Usually you'll want to organize your pieces to see what you're working with. So we have these small baby pieces that have 1 notch in them. There is 4 of these, okay? Those are all the same basic piece, right? And then we have these other 2 ones that are like baby pieces, but they're a little different. Instead of having like a notch just on one side, they have like just one corner of this whole square is being like held up. Like if there was like it's a column and it's holding up just one corner of the pieces. So those ones can just be set aside as well. Then you have all the big pieces. And this is where you're going to want to start. So it's tricky to figure out which ones go together, but I'm just, obviously you've already tried and you're looking for a solution, so I'm just going to tell you which ones go together. And after a little bit of inspection, you'll see that these 2 pieces are the same. Here, see? These 2 pieces, like, they're the same piece, okay? So these guys go together. And then if you look at these 2 pieces, they are also exactly the same. I'm sorry that, I mean, if you don't watch all of these videos that I do, you probably are noticing it in this video, but you don't notice it in all of them. But if you watch all of the videos, you're going to notice it in all of them. And so I'm sorry, it's really annoying, but everything's always very shadowy. It's because I have a light that is lighting everything up so that it's bright, but at the same time, it's just the one light, and so it's casting a shadow. I'm sorry, but it's either a light and a shadow or darkness. Take your pick. So, yes, these 2 pieces, they both have, like, the cutout thing, you know, that these ones do, but then they have an extra notch in the side. So they look identical on this side, but if you turn this over and you turn this over, you see that this has a notch. And it's the same with this piece. So these 2 pieces are the same, so they're going to go together. Those 2 pieces are the same, so they're going to go together, which means the extra weird piece and the extra, like, suspiciously normal looking piece are going to go together. Okay. Now, where do you want to start with this? You want to start with these pieces. Okay? And if you remember when I was pointing out the shape when it was all done, these, like the pieces, you always want them to go together like this. Like, not like this, not like this. They need to go this way. They need to make this shape. We saw that sticking out when it was all put together. So these two pieces are going to go together like this, okay? You can just hold them together like this. And then you're also going to take, like I said, all of the ones that are sticking out, you need two side pieces. So you're going to take two of these pieces, right? The ones that there's 4 of. They look like this. They have a notch in them, like that. But they're not the ones with the extra skinny piece, okay? And you're just going to put these on the sides, like that, and like that. So I'm turning it on its side. The notches are pointing out, okay? If this is the center of the figure, both the notches are pointing out. And they are on their sides. They are not like this. They are not like this. They are on their sides, okay? And just set those right there, okay, on either side. Then you're going to need these two pieces, okay? The two pieces that are just like these, but with the one notch taken out of them. And what is going to happen is these two pieces, once again, are going to go together in this direction, like I said. Put them together like this. And you want to make sure that the notches line up, okay? So that another piece can go right here. So don't put it like this, so that there's a notch on this side and then there's a notch on this side. Basically, you want both of the notches to be pointing, like, so this piece, see, these things are going to be going up, and the notch is on the left side. With this piece, both of these parts, like the feet, are going to be pointing down, and the notch is still on the left, okay? And this is the way it's going to be. Like, this is the way you're going to want it to rest, okay? But it has to be combined with this stuff, okay? But this is this is the general, like, thing you're going to want, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole thing that I just made and turn it this way, okay? And then, basically, this is going to go here. Like, if it was a vine, if a vine wasn't dead, and someone made a vine of this, they would go like, wha-blam! And they would smack this right here, and then it would poof to being with this stuff, like, right here, okay? Which I guess is exactly what you can do if you want. You can hold all 4 of these pieces together like this, and just set them right in here. Or, if you don't have that much dexterity, you can literally just take each piece on its own and set it in here. There's multiple notches for everything. And actually, I think it's easier to do these little pieces first. So pick up your little piece like this, and it's going to go on this, like, this ledge right here. Not the lowest down part, that ledge that's, like, up a step. Okay, just set it right here. Okay, and just let it balance there. Can you see? If I move it, obviously it's going to fall, but see? Just like that. And let it balance there. And then do the same thing on the other side with this one. Let it balance right on that notch right there. Okay, then these ones, it's actually kind of easier to put them in at the same time so that things don't keep falling over. So if you hold them together like this, and we're going to set them right across, like right in between these two other ones that we just placed. I know it's in kind of a weird angle right now, but I don't want to move it because everything's going to fall again. So just put these, just set them right in there like that, okay? So that's what we're working with. And then you're just going to take this piece, put the feet pointing down, notch to the left. It's going to sit right on top. It's going to rest right here and right here, okay? Just like that. Okay? So as you can see, everything is locked in place inside of that. And there you have it. Now this you can actually stand up. It should stay together quite nicely. You can keep it laying down or you can stand it up. Now, I find it easier to have it standing up because if you keep it laying down, and we're going to be putting things in these spots next. And if we put things in here, this for instance, okay, well here, I will show you with it laying down so you get a better view, and then I'll pick it up. So you're going to want to take these two pieces that you just put in here, these two long ones, and slide them to the right a little bit, okay? Not so much that they fall out, but just a little bit. Slide them to the right, because then you're going to be taking this piece that looks like an E. Okay, turn it backwards, so now it looks like a 3, okay? Put the piece that's like a 3. If you have it laying down, you would want it standing up, okay? So it's a 3, now it's standing up, and you're going to put it right in here, okay? But see, now the problem is it needs to go further down, but there's table there. So what I like to do is I like to have this whole figure standing up, and then like try to keep these two pieces held together like this so everything stays. Once again, I'm going to move the two longer pieces over to the right. I'm going to take the piece that looks like a 3, and I'm going to put it exactly where I was showing you guys before, but see, now it can pass through the back. And then you're just going to push it towards the left, because this little notch right here is going to go in between these two pieces. So if we push it over that way, it will just fit in there. Everything just fits, okay? And then don't push these two long pieces back to the left yet, because we have another piece we need to put into place. Another one of the ones that is tiny and notched, but not the weird notch, just a normal notch. Put the notch facing outward once again, outward. So in this case to the right. And this is just going to slide, oh, whoops. This is just going to slide right in where that other one did. So they're kind of like back to back, okay? The back of this is going to touch the back of this. Slide it right in like that. And then like we pushed the other one, we pushed the other one towards the left to fit into a notch. We're going to push this one towards the right, and it should nestle right into the notch right there. I will pick everything up and try to show you. Hopefully it's fine. Okay, see the notch right there? I know it's difficult in this lighting, but yeah, see that notch? This just gets nestled right in there. And if you aren't trying to pick your thing up multiple times over and over again, everything won't get all screwed up. So then when it's fit into that notch, you can push everything back over to the left, and then it's super snug. See that? This doesn't move anymore because everything is pushed to the left. And then you have a hole on this side, which we're going to do kind of the same thing with, but in a moment. First, you can see that there's a tiny little space still right here, and a tiny little space still on this side. So you can see my thumbnail through there. That is a hole. Oh yes, see, you can see the counter table through there. We need to fit these last two weird small pieces right there, okay? Now for these pieces, you want to be holding it so that the part that is on the top is flush. Okay? See how if I had it turned this way, there would be a divot here? And if I had it turned this way, there's a divot here. You want it turned one of the ways. There's two options. You want it one of the ways where it is flush right here. But then you want the notch to be on the left. The way that I'm holding everything right now makes it so that you want the notch to be on the left, okay? So just like this, flush, notch on the left. And then you're just going to put it into a standing position, okay? I didn't rotate it at all, as I'm just standing it up. And you're going to nestle this corner into that hole that I was showing you, okay? And it should just stay there if you're careful, if you don't wiggle things around too much, if you don't drop everything. And then the same thing is going to happen on the other side. You're going to want the flush side again, you're going to want the notch on the left again, but now make sure when you stand it up like putting this bottom end down, okay? Because you want the part that has the divot to be pointing outwards, and then the flush side is going to go in towards the actual puzzle. Put that in the same place on the other side, and then it's almost done. I can maybe turn it this way again for you guys to see a little bit better. Okay, so we just have these two pieces left. You can put this one in first. You want the notch towards the left or towards the outside of the actual puzzle. So yes, notch towards that direction. Stand it up. Sorry, I know it's difficult to see when it's standing up. And then just put it, we're going to fit it right into, my goodness. We're going to fit it right into this smaller notch here. So just slide it right in and over. Like this. Okay, now finally we can put the last piece in. The last piece, you just want to make sure that you have the flattest, straightest side possible, pointing towards the inside of the object, not the outside. The notched corners are going to go on the outside, and in the way that I have it right now, you need to stand it up. But also if you had it this way, see, it looks like this, okay? And it's going right in there. And that is that. So yeah, sometimes when you're moving things around, things might slip back out of place, but usually you can just push them right back, and it's fine. And then when you set it down, just make sure you don't set it down in a way that this piece can fall down. So use gravity to your advantage, okay? So that you're not sitting it on your desk or whatever in a way that that's going to fall right back out of place, because I mean mine at least is very slippery. But that's all there is to it. I'm sorry that one was kind of a little bit more lengthy. I'm just trying to make it literally as clear as I possibly can, and so I hope that helped. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye bye now.